I am here at ISTE 2026 in Orlando, Florida. It's one of the largest conventions for technology, but technology in schools. There's a lot of 3D printing here. Let's get into it. Walking into the convention hall, you've got companies like Google, Epson, and others. But 3D printing is well represented here. While it'd be awesome to see more manufacturers here, the one that I didn't expect to see, Bambulab. They don't often go to shows outside of the 3D printing world, and they often really don't go to the 3D printing shows either, unless they're the big industry ones. But they are here with the CAD Class guys, showing off some of their brand new CyberBrick projects where they've teamed up with CAD Class to make more projects. And I've always been a big fan of the CyberBrick projects because I think it's a great way for those that have actual experience with 3D printers, that want to get young children involved in the industry. This stuff right freaking here is the way to do it. Bambu, they're one of the OGs of it. They're showing off some of the brand new products for the CyberBrick. It's a stand your ground state, gentlemen. But it's awesome to see. And hilariously, there's not an A2L here. There's not a H2C here. But there's that one. They wouldn't let me take it apart to check, but you know, that's the way she goes sometimes. But these are awesome kits. And as you know, we're a big fan of CAD Class. Check them out, cadclass.org. They've got books and educational content for you, your kids, your school, whatever, to make this happen. But I love seeing this because it is, again, a great way for people to look at building the CyberBrick kits, putting it together with some electronics, and you're able to build actual robot art. Let's take a look. CAD Class guys dropped us a part here. They want me to take a look as to why it failed. We definitely have some overhang performance here. If we hold it the right way, you can see the dot, the hole right there. Not all that round bridging. Not too bad. Honestly, I would probably look at this part and say it's fine. You think this is a failure?
So the issue wasn't that the part didn't print, it's that when it printed, the tolerances were off.
Oh, the tolerances were off. So you ran it too fast, the jerk got in the way, yep. Okay.
So since this filament was from 2013 and was a 3.5 millimeter filament pushed through a nozzle to turn it to 1.7.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it was this awful experiment that I had done. When I printed with it, its extrusion rate was so much so that every single dimension was plus a half a millimeter.
So I'm pretty good at detecting print failures and why they occur.
That is something that you
This is outside of the fact that this looks this good from 2013 filament.
Yeah, resized
like
2013 filament.
I mean, like if the holes were a little small, drill them out, ream them out, but the whole thing is like half a millimeter too big in every dimension.
Yeah, almost every dimension.
Huh. How many of you have done that where you've resized filament? Let us know down in the comments. But if you like open source products, and I know kind of weird to be talking about that here, you got to go check out Dorian Todd's Sesame project. We did a short on it. We'll put it so you guys can see it. It is a really, really awesome kit. Yeah. And you're part of CAD Class. You're making some of the resources, but for your own projects, you like them out in the open source, which is something that we enjoy.
And so one of my goals to be here at Bambulab is to kind of push for open source.
Yep.
And you know, discuss that with Bambu. I'm a big supporter of open source, and so people have seen me at Bambu and been like, oh, well, that's kind of weird. But, you know, yeah. I think that there's some opportunity here for Bambu to grow and learn from their mistakes.
We sure hope so, but, you know, these are my words, not his. Historically, anyways. But it's awesome to see Bambu here. They've got a really nice booth. The thing that Bambu has always done right are their booths. But Bambu is not the only company here at ISTE 2026. Some that just have 3D printers on display here at the Best Buy booth. There are other manufacturers. We're gonna go check them out. Walking down just past Bambu and Best Buy, we have Flashforge, which they're showing off the CJ270, which if a lot of you know about my history in this industry, I started heavily in the industrial world with full color sandstone, the Z-Corp process, but this is a multi-jet process. So you end up with full color resin, and the parts, the quality on them is pretty crazy. Now, I'm not certain if the pigmentation here is something that they did or it's a firmware thing or whatever, but it is a lot more pink than you would expect a skin tone to be. And I thought, well, okay, maybe they have an issue with white. But no, there's a cow there. And the cow, you can definitely see the colors look fine on. The chameleon looks good too. We can see that the chameleon itself is glossy. The glossy is because it has been post-processed. When you deal with multi-jet parts, they normally all have this matte coloring to them because there's a support material. With multi-jet parts, like resin, you need support, but it doesn't use the tree supports that you all are used to. It builds it up layer by layer, and you kind of start with a flat surface. The thing with the supports is that they change the way the parts look. The actual coloring will be different where supports touch. So the way that we've gotten around this in the full color industry for the full color 3D printing process that's polyjet, right? Or multi-jet, because we don't want to violate any patents, is that you just put support everywhere, even where it's not needed. And that makes it so that your color is consistent. The look is consistent, the feel is consistent, and that's a big deal. You can work on figuring out the actual color science behind each of the individual colors. The thing you can't fix is if you mess up and you don't have the right surface finish. Yes, you can go through and sand it down, then you can go through and paint it and all that, but you bought a full color 3D printer. You don't want to have to go through and actually paint it. The thing that I'm still curious about with this machine is these bags. Because these bags are the difference between me really liking this machine and me having some problems with it. Because the cost of your raw materials is something that's really a big deal when you're looking at industrial machines. From a business perspective, the initial purchase price, not that big of a deal. But if you buy a cheaper machine and it's 10x the price to use it as a machine that's double the initial investment, you probably made the wrong investment if you're going to be using it for any amount of time. Flashforge, they're kind of known for making machines affordable. So I'm very curious to see what the raw cost of this material is. I'm always curious to see the final parts themselves. They've got another machine on display, and one that we're going to be doing a kind of a dedicated PrintFixFriday, the Flashforge Creator 5 Pro. Flashforge is fully enclosed, chamber heated tool changer. But unlike other tool changers on the market, the tools aren't at the front, they're not at the back, they're on the side. This is the front of the machine. The tools all sit on the side. I'm more interested in the CJ270 because as someone that used to do this tech professionally with full color sandstone 3D printing, my full color machine is 2 meters long, 1 meter deep, almost 2 meters tall, and weighs 900 pounds empty. Creator 5 Pro is obviously creating a bit of fun here at ISTE 2026. Got some models on display, of course, showing tool changing versus the AD5X, which is one of your multiplexer machines that has 4 rolls. They all only go through 1 nozzle. I'm a big fan of tool changers. What do you guys think? Do you like the AMS multiplexer style, or are you a tool changer person? Let's add in the price points because, yeah, the multiplexers are a lot more affordable. They're also showing off a dryer, which is nice. 2 spools per chamber, 2 chambers. As someone that lives in a swamp, this entire event is taking place in the swamp. You need these. Swamp life. But I know you guys want to hear more about the Printed Solid Prusa USA, Prusa Booth. I don't know what we're calling it at this point, but we have Mr. Chris Pileski here. We've got him. It's Anthony Dragoni. He is the community manager for Prusa, and apparently he likes to eat the brains of European men. If you're the kind of person that agrees with me, make sure to leave a like and get subscribed, because he wasn't expecting me to make a joke like that, and that's the kind of fun that we like to have here. Well, look, you made a mess already. Ah, yes, showing off your dragon, how men show off fish. But we've got the XL5 tool head here. You've got Core 1 Plus. Would have loved to see a Core 1L. Didn't know they didn't have one here. I would have brought mine because the Core 1L is a bad mofo of a 3D printer and really, really good suited for schools. But this one, she's ready for the Index upgrade, and don't worry, there'll be videos on Index coming out very, very soon. Mark 4S is also here showing off because it's on sale and it's nice and affordable as far as Prusa products go. We've been printing samples the entire time here at ISTE. 3-man booth, or 3-person booth, I should say, are easier than a 2-person. That way, you have 2 people talking and one can be around filming videos like a goober because that is his job, I guess. Like and subscribe, please. Please. As part of me coming out, having a little bit of fun, we brought out the Artec Leo. Down in the case is the Artec Spider. We did some scanning, we had a little bit of fun, but something that I've enjoyed is taking some crash cars that we've recently scanned and showing them off. You might say, Grant, that looks like a pretty decent model. Now, the funny thing is, that wasn't scanned at all. That was made from photos from this camera that I'm recording with right here. The Artec Studio software is actually able to do photogrammetry using photos. And I just use an Osmo Action 5 Pro. Then I am astounded with how good that looks. You can actually see when we remove the texture, because texture hides a lot of crap. That is a decent scan for nothing than a camera and the software. Artec Studio Lite, all it does is the photogrammetry side. We have the full version, but if you do want to check out Artec Studio Lite, we'll link to it down below. We did some short form content with them at FormNext, and their special email, which is on screen, that you can use to let them know that we sent you if you want to try it out. Anthony, coming soon on a PrintFix Friday, this man here will be joining me for a discussion about the OCL, the Open Community License from Prusa, which recently got updated. And there are some vocal people that aren't a huge fan of it, but I actually think that OCL is moving in the right direction, even though I think we should drop the open name from it, maybe use something else, because it can be a little confusing if you don't know, but that's okay. That's part of the deal and part of the questions we're gonna be asking, but do check out Printed Solid, Prusa USA, Prusa 3D, links to all of that will be down below. Huge thank you to them for inviting us out, letting us have fun, and also make fun of them as well.
Thanks for coming out, Grant.
Love you, Chris. It is great to be here. It's always fun to be hanging around my friends. And a huge thank you goes out to all of you who support the channel here. His name's listed right next to me at the $5 tier and higher. Thank you for making trips like this possible and enable us to volunteer with companies that we love. It was a 2-hour drive. They put us up in a hotel. It was awesome. And then they also got to see how yours truly likes to devour sushi in ways that is probably killing profit margin in some of these all-you-can-eat restaurants. Because remember, kids, it's all you can eat, not all you should eat.
And Grant can eat a lot of sushi.
I've seen horrors beyond humans' imagination.
That is all we have for you all today. Stay safe out there. Don't forget to call everyone. Don't forget to leave a like and get subscribed. And as always, keep making awesome. For probably one of the oddest PrintFix Fridays we've ever done. Take care.